so bright, but oh well.
Hi guys. Good evening.
Oh, Kettle Kitchen's on with us.
Hi Ashley. Kenny. Hey Randy. Drunken Chef. Hey Gary. Kettle Kitchen. Welcome. D&T in Tennessee. Hey.
Oh,
Oh, you guys are driving back, huh? You have safe travels.
yeah. So tonight we're doing, as you can tell from the garage backdrop here, the trivia that we're doing is classic car trivia.
Shortly.
He should be here shortly, but fortunately, yeah.
Gary, he's already got his answer in.
If you can hear us all right, put a 1 in the chat. If you're having trouble hearing us, put a 2 in the chat.
It's good to see you too, Randy, the other day. Too bad the weather didn't hold out too well with for the car show, but anyway.
Belt Loop says
yeah,
2.
it was
Some
good
people
what we
say
saw.
1. Okay. So Belt Loop, Double Dog. Three?
What's 3?
I don't know. Somebody. I know 1 plus 2 is 3, but
You need to do something.
yeah. Let's see if
Gary says I can hear you fine, so it's probably better if they can't hear the question. So let's go.
well, everybody else can seems to hear it
Dog
all
says,
right.
I turned my speaker way up.
Let's see. So see if that helps.
Robert Castleberry says life outdoors had to be different. LOL.
Yeah.
Hey, hike with Mike.
All right. So, as I said, this is going to be classic car trivia. So it's going to be multiple choice, A, B, C, D answers, or A, B, C, and D answers. And it's 22 questions. First one, what was the first muscle car of the 1960s? The choices are A, Ford Mustang, B, Pontiac GTO, C, Chevy Camaro, or D, the Dodge Challenger.
Good evening, don't you know?
Welcome. Hey, William Smith. So we've got Mustang. It's still a muscle car.
Devil Dog says I wasn't alive then.
The 1960s. That goes from 1960 to 1969. So the old guy Gary gets it. Well, the answer is, Gary, it is the Pontiac GTO. He was thought of
then.
Next question. What is the most powerful muscle car ever produced? 500. B, the 2015 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. C, the 2017 Dodge Viper D, or Dodge Viper, sorry. And D, the 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon.
That was a little mouthful.
That was a mouthful. So A, the Mustang Shelby, B, the Chevy Camaro, C, the Dodge Viper, or D, the Dodge Challenger.
Belt Loop says, repeat it.
What is the most powerful muscle car ever produced? I see 1, 2.
Double Dog said C.
I see 2.
Hike with Mike D. Leonard Family Fun D. Belt Loop says last one.
Yep.
Demon.
So
Randy says Challenger, and Don't You Know
Yeah.
says Viper.
So it was the 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon, and I believe that had a 750 horsepower engine.
So that was D.
Yeah, it was Steve, and it was
Okay,
a beast.
everybody who picked D, the Demon.
That's not a problem. Next one. What year was the first Ford Mustang produced? 1966, 1962, 1964, or 1965? Gary, go to work. He is at work. Let's see, 2, 3.
Double Dog 62. Hike with Mike 64. Gary says 64. Randy says 64.
And it's kind of a trick
Wendy says
answer.
64.
It is 1964, but it really was 1964 and a half.
Oh, who's counting the months?
Yeah, it was treated as a 1964,
Yeah, I
even
know.
though it came out half a year into the normal production.
Gary says, yep, I'm at work, and I love muscle cars.
What was the most expensive muscle car factory built? A, the 1969 Mercury Cyclone Cobra. B, the Shelby Plus 1000. C, the 1949 Oldsmobile Rocket 88. Or D, the 1970 Oldsmobile 442. Hey, John Esper. Welcome.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Scott.
Yeah, we saw that he was on, John.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. He
Yep.
hit 7,000. Yeah, I know that. I know he was looking forward to that.
So the
Oh,
answer is the Shelby Plus 1000. That was the most expensive muscle car
Which
factory.
was B.
B.
Okay.
Next one. What year was the first Pontiac Trans Am introduced? A, 1969, B, 1971, C, 1968, or D, 1966?
Okay, now, guys.
Not seeing any right answers. Well, the answer to this one actually was 1969, A. That was the first Pontiac Trans Am introduced. All right, Gary. Be nice.
You cheated.
1969 it was. All right, Gary, you better know this one. This is a tough one for you. What does GTO stand for in Pontiac GTO? A, Gran Turismo Open. B, Gran Turismo 1. C, Gran Turismo Omologato. Or D, Gran Turismo Ovologato. Those are mouthfuls.
Oh man. Yeah, Scott, the Shades of the Past is
Yeah.
this weekend. Yeah, they've been rolling in town.
Glad we're not there.
Yeah. Okay, Gary says Gran Turismo
And Eddie,
Homologata.
yeah, and Eddie says, "Shut up, Gary."
Double Duck says I'm leaving.
No, please
Don't
don't.
leave!
Don't
Don't
leave.
leave!
Don't leave.
William Smith says A. Scott says C. Double Dog says I cannot deal with Gary. Mike with Mike says Domo Oregato. That sounds like a song.
Yeah, it's C, the Gran Turismo Omologato. Sounds like a cat.
Thanks for joining us, Leonard.
Yep. Okay. Next one. What is the fastest muscle car of the 60s and 70s? The A, the 1966 427 Corvette. B, the 1966 427 Cobra. C, the 1970 Buick GS Stage. Or D, the 68 Hemi Charger.
Bell Loop, how do you know the answers before it was asked? Did
No,
you
you
steal
don't.
the answers
He didn't steal the
test
questions.
sheet from the teacher?
He didn't know this. Hey, Rebecca, welcome.
Double Dog says B. William A. Gary says D. Ike with Mike D.
So
Don't
those
you know
that's
A?
answered B, the 1966 427 Cobra was right.
Randy said Charger.
Yeah, Double Dog's the one that got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to be up there anytime soon. Not that soon.
Gary says I knew what a GTO stood for.
Well,
long
I
before you
hope
asked.
so. Next question. What was the best-selling Ford Mustang ever? A, 2015. B, 1979. C, 1986. Or D, 1966. Let me throw them off. Yeah.
Gary says first one I missed.
Yep.
Ike when Mike says D. Gary says 1966. Randy says 86. Double Dog 66. Don't you know 66? Scott says 2015.
So the answer was D, the 1966. He thought he would miss that one too. Next one. What is the rarest muscle car ever produced? A, the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Superbird. B, the 1967 Ford Fairlane 500 R Code. C, the 1967 Plymouth R023 GTS. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible.
Gary says Ford stands for Found on Road Dead. Or Fix or Repair Daily, right?
Yeah, both of them work.
Randy says R Code. Double Dog D. Ike with Mike C. Gary D. William Smith D.
So the answer on that one,
Ford
Ford
Fairlane.
Fairlane.
Don't you know?
The answer on that one was D, the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible. I think they said something like where they only built like 5 of them. So that was extremely rare.
Oh, I haven't heard that one, William Smith. Fast on Race Day.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Next one. What was the first muscle car Dodge produced? The Challenger, A, the Challenger, B, the Charger, C, the Dart, or D, the SRT Hellcat.
Gary says you'll notice I am not saying one and then another one just to guarantee I get it right. I was first and right again.
else comes up with
We got a B, C, a C, dart, and a dart.
So the answer is C, the Dart. I didn't know that was a
All
muscle car,
right.
but it was. Now for one that's a little bit more challenging. What? Yep. What is the lightest muscle car ever produced? A, the Chevy Nova, B, the Sunbeam Tiger, C, the Ford Cobra, or D, the Griffith?
Yep, you got it, Gary.
But not
Randy's
not in this
World,
question.
Cobra, William Smith D, Hike with Mike Cobra.
Bell Lips at C. Give it just a little more to see. What else comes up with an answer?
Got another C.
All right. Well, the answer to that one, which is surprising. Hey, Darian, welcome.
Hi.
Oh, he's on the road. Well, that's fine.
Safe travels to you.
Still need to get with you sometime. So the answer to that is D, the Griffith. I never heard of that vehicle.
So William Smith. Oops.
Only William Smith is the
William
only.
Smith is the only one who got it.
Yep. Next one. What was the first American muscle car to go 200 miles per hour? A, the 1974 Chevy Camaro. B, the 2005 Bugatti Veyron C. Veyron. C, the 1969 Ford Mustang Fastback. I know. Or D, the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. Okay, that's fine, Darian.
Okay, yeah. Gary says I was wrong. Strange. I don't understand how I could be wrong. It happens.
Yes, it does happen.
Happens to all of us. Randy says Bugatti. William Smith says C. D. Gary says D.
Yeah.
He also says Kathy Ireland.
No, she was not in the vehicle at the time. Or the driver. So the answer on that was D, the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona.
All right, those with D. Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Gary. Next one. What does the R/T stand for in Dodge R/T models? A, rear turbo. B, race/track. C, road/track. Or D, road tested.
Okay, William Smith says A. Gary says C.
Wait for a few more answers.
He says guessing here. I don't recall.
I don't recall.
Don't you know says road/track. Gary says I should probably quit answering. I think I may be running off competition.
Yeah, that's possible.
Every once in a while, it looks like it's buffering on my phone.
I know.
Anybody else getting that buffering?
I have to do some. I updated the OBS, so it's not that. There's some things I can try. Yeah, it's Kathy Ireland's fault. So the answer to that is C, road/track. Next one. What was the cheapest muscle car ever produced? A, the 1963 Dodge Coronet 440. B, the 1964 Chevrolet Corvair Monza. Hello, let's try gardening.
You're welcome.
That's good. C, the 1961 Ford Falcon. Or D, 1961 Plymouth Fury.
Randy says Cornet. Or
Comet.
Comet.
Just Comet. Or Coronet. Actually, it's a Coronet. But that's not the answer.
Don't you know says A.
William says Smith says C.
C.
Scott says C. There he is. There's
Gary
Scott
says
again.
don't know. Don't know.
He don't know. So the answer to that one is C, the 1961 Ford Falcon. It was the cheapest muscle car. I didn't know that some of these vehicles actually were muscle cars, but I have seen them at car shows. Next, Jim. Yeah. Let's try that again. Next one. What? That's A, 1963. B, 1961. C, 1964. Or D, 1962. That's right, Scott.
Gary says, hey, I'm trying to promote folks answering. Scott says I've had to run out of my office for a minute.
A question again was, what year was the first Shelby Cobra produced? A, 1963. B, 1961.
Gary said he didn't hear the question. Don't you know says they didn't hear the question.
Awesome. Oh, she did now.
Oh. B. Scott says B. Don't you know 1964?
Just see. Buffering again.
Yeah, why is it buffering?
I'm wondering if it's doing stuff.
Oh no.
That could be. Hard to say. I'm getting good throughput. Not dropping any frames according to that. All right, so the answer to that one is D, 1962. Gary didn't know it.
I think you stumped up several on that one.
Yeah. Next one. What was the first car to win the Daytona 500? B, the 1962 Ford Mustang. C, the 1959 hardtop Oldsmobile Super 88. Or D, the 1960 Dodge Challenger. Being a Rat Rod Bills, welcome.
Gary says I will be stumped on the rest, I'm sure.
No, not Kathy Ireland.
William Smith says D. Randy says Challenger. Spaceman Dudley Matchbox.
Matchbox. Hello, Spaceman Dudley.
And every time.
And for Gary, yes, Kathy Ireland was in it.
Right. Yeah, she can fit in there, right?
Number 17. So the answer to that was C, the 1959 hardtop Oldsmobile Super 88, which is a mouthful.
Yeah, how you doing, Spaceman Dudley? Glad you could join us.
Next question. What engine did the first Dodge Charger have? A, 318, B, 361, C, 426 Hemi, D, 383. Oh, yeah, that's
Racing in
right.
Bristol next week. Gary says 426 Hemi. Don't you know says C.
There's a reason for that.
Oh. Why'd you do it that way?
I can't say. You'll hear it in a second.
You got an A, you have a C.
So the actual answer to that question, which is kind of a trick question, because as options. So every single one of those.
Gary says don't cheat me.
That's Dodge for you. They're the ones that did that. They had that engine was available in the very first Dodge Charger. You could pick any one of those engines. Rhythm and Roots weekend.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I hope the rain stays away.
Yeah, I know. We're supposed to get a lot of rain here.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be raining all weekend long.
Yeah, it's supposed to start raining here on Friday, go through into late Sunday. So it's going to be a wet one here. Next one. What year was the first Corvette produced? And I saw one of the first Corvettes recently. A, 1955. B, 1951. Or D, 1954.
Gary says GTO was an option on the 64 Pontiac
Tempest.
Tempest.
Yep.
1958. Rat Rod says 53. Gary goes back and says 53.
Yeah, considering 58 was not one of the one of the possibilities.
Oh.
He had to correct himself.
Answering it in case it's a question. William Smith says C. Scott says 53.
Yep, everybody's got it right. It's 1953 was the
All
first
right,
Corvette
guys.
produced.
Spaceman says, yes, I don't know what they will do. Guess people just get wet.
Yep.
Hands are already booked. Yeah, that's what they do. They just prepare to get wet or wear rain ponchos or umbrellas.
Next one is for people that are a little bit younger. What was the most powerful muscle car of the 1970s? A, the 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. B, the 1970 Mustang Boss 429. C, the 1970 Chevelle SS 454. One Chevy Camaro. Yeah, Scott, I agree. The 63 split window is my favorite as well of the Corvettes.
Gary says 54.
That was
an option as opposed to the 54 T-Bird. Don't you know? It says B. Gary says Chevelle. William Smith B. Where are we at? Okay.
Bow tie.
Gary says, I love the 63, but prefer a 58 or 59.
So the answer to that, and I've seen a lot of these, the 1970 Chevelle SS 454. Well, the next question is a Chevy question as well. What year was the very first Chevy Camaro produced? A, 1966, C, 1967, or D, 1968?
Rat Rod says, I would have thought the Superbird would have been mentioned.
Yeah, but it wasn't surprisingly.
Scott says 67 for the question.
What was the year the first Chevy Camaro was produced?
William Smith says C.
It was A, 1966, B, 1964, C, 1967, or D, 1968?
Rat Rod says C. Tony says B.
I'll give Gary a second to answer.
Let's Try Gardening says, I drive a Subaru and was born in 83, so I'm not winning. That's okay.
All right, so the answer to that one was 1966. That was the year the first Chevy Camaro was produced. I'm surprised. I thought it would have been 64.
So that was A.
That was A. Next one. We got two left. Next one is, what was Ford's answer to the Chevy Corvette? C, the Fairlane, or D, the Falcon?
I was a Pinto with a lift kit and monster tires. Spaceman.
There's a video that I'm going to be putting out in probably a couple weeks. I still have to put it together. But
It says T-Bird. Don't you know it says A. I didn't hear the answers, but I know the answer. Tony says Fairlane.
I already answered it. Hate to say this, but yeah, you're right, Gary. It was the Thunderbird. Now the last question is an interesting one. Don't know who will get it because it's one I never heard of. What is the 426 Hemi engine's nickname? A, Beast. B, Boss. C, Elephant. Or D, Rhino?
Oh,
I never heard that referred to that. Etzel.
Scott says Moped. Ford has no answer for Chevrolet.
Beast, I think.
Don't you know says Boss. Gary says Boss sounds right.
You need to pull out some other cards. Card ones other than this. We're only half hour in. So the being a rat rod Bills, he's like thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get a hold of him after that one.
Spaceman says I had a 79 Ford Fairmont. I had an 81.
Yeah, she did. She had an 81 Ford Fairmont. So this one, the answer to this is not Boss, even if it sounds right, because the one that it is didn't sound right, but it's the reason why they named it that, nicknamed it that. It was the Elephant. Yeah, Double Dog's still here. Good.
Gary says, trouble is I love muscle cars. Truth is my wife would probably beat him in this competition.
So
That
the
says
426 Hemi engine's nickname was Elephant because of the size of the engine. So they nicknamed it the Elephant because it was much larger than what they normally produce.
Don't you know says, I should know all these. My ex was an auto mechanic. We went to many car shows.
It would have been my last guess. That's the card trivia that we had for today. You want to grab that box over there?
Which one?
The things.
These?
Yeah. So since we still have some time in our hour, we're gonna.
Gary says, Tam and I have been to many, many car shows.
Yeah, we've been to a lot.
5 more minutes.
Well, it's gonna be a lot more than 5 more minutes, so you can bet that on that one.
Tony says I had a 74 Buick with a 455. Gary says, and I can tell y'all more about GTOs. Rat Rod says, awesome backdrop.
Oh, thanks.
I need that garage.
Yeah, I figured we were doing car trivia. I had to have a.
Devil Dog says he's done. He's done with Gary.
Well, time to change it up. So we're gonna go from car trivia.
65 GTO. Move the vents in from the 64.
To classroom trivia.
Devil Dog says I'm thinking about not even going to the GCBD show tomorrow.
I don't even know what that stands for. So we're going to do some more things they don't teach you in school.
Gary says straight fenders on the 64 and 65. Coke bottle fenders were the style in 66.
Too old for school. No, you're not. Ah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you could rename it to the Good Dog Bad Cop Show. Just saying. All right, so we're going to do some of these things. I probably can't see
Gary
that.
says, Devil Dog, I will let you win on this one.
Things they don't teach you in school. Well, you can't see it too well. Oh, well. Let's see if I can put up my other.
Well, you had last week.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't know if that will show up or not.
Yeah, it probably
It's not
won't.
showing up. Kinda.
No.
There we go.
I don't know what happened to my other image. Oh, well. So. Not playing anymore. Okay, first question.
Oh, wait, you did. Oh,
I'm doing bottoms.
Oh.
I'm starting off with bottoms now.
Oh,
No, I'm doing bottom.
Okay. You'll lose track of where you're
No,
at.
I won't. Okay, fine. I'll start on top. All right, so the first question is, yuppie is a term from the 80s derived from the first letters of what 3 words? Hey, Shorty's Adventure, welcome.
No, Gary, don't be sorry. You didn't ruin anything.
So again, the question was, yuppie is a term from the 80s derived from what? From the first letters of what 3 words? No, not she knows you. Not yes, he did. I know he's not saying that, but close. Close, don't you know? Change out that last word and you'll be... The first 2 words are right.
Yep.
Professionals, that's correct. Yep.
You got it.
No, Kathy Ireland was not on the call. For how long can beef be stored in the freezer?
Safely or
For
whatever.
the question was, for how long can you store beef in the freezer safely?
Rat Rod says, well, I'm going to have to bow out of school trivia. They were passing out brains. I thought they said trains and asked for a slow one. Double Dog says until the freezer stops working.
And Gary's
20 years?
no,
6 months?
no, not even close.
100 years?
Not even close. I wouldn't want to even touch that beef.
Even if you freeze dry it, it wouldn't even be good for 100 years. 12 months.
There you go. Yeah, it's 1 year if the meat was fresh when you froze it. Certainly not 100 years.
Hey,
Crypt Keeper, welcome. 1,000. Next question. Why are portraits on coins almost always made in a profile? That kind of makes sense. Throw the cap. It's not a walk-in freezer, Gary.
I want to read it again. So you can see their nose, so the nose don't hang out. I know some of them probably look like their noses.
Yeah, like George
Reinforcement.
Washington.
Oh, why does it keep doing that?
I don't know. It does that to me too.
To see how long their nose is. Wow. Spaceman, how long can you store a Hostess Twinkie without it changing its
Forever.
appearance?
Yeah,
Forever.
really.
Devil Dog says to see if the politicians are liars.
No, the answer on that is it's more difficult to make a frontal portrait that resembles the person being depicted. That's just...
Gary, you were pretty close to that because it's our best side. I guess.
How do you know? Why it reinforces the coin's flatness?
Devil Dog says their best side would be their back to watch them.
Exactly. Okay. This is going to be an easy one for some of these ones. What is measured with the Scoville scale? I know several people that better have this right.
Mm-hmm. Devil Dog says heat on a pepper.
I will pass for that.
Devil Dog says not doing it. Don't you know says pepper's heat. Crypt Keeper says the heat of a pepper.
Actually, it's not just peppers. It's the level of heat of spicy foods. So it could be anything other than
peppers.
What else other than peppers are hot?
Devil Dog says I'm not doing the chip.
Oh, probably a good idea that you're not, because 1.7 million Scoville units, that could kill you.
Devil Dog says onions.
They said some people could get killed from it.
Ugh.
Next one. What is, after cars, the world's most common four-wheeler? It's not what I thought.
On.
It's not what I thought. No. Don't you know? No. Let's not go there.
Crypt Keeper says it's only hot because of peppers, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Question is, what is, after cars, the world's most common four-wheeler? Four-wheelers.
Dune buggy, four-wheelers. Now, think out of the box. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, definitely think out of the box or bag.
Crypt Keeper says escape. That's a good answer, but
It's a good
that's
answer,
not
but
it.
it's not the right one.
Devil Dog says I'm right. Wheels.
Nope.
Devil Dog Dolly. Hot Wheels. Boats.
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 Boats don't have wheels.
Radio Flyer. Hey, that's a good.
That's a good
That's a
answer,
good
but it's not the
answer.
right one. So the answer,
Wheelchair.
no, the answer to this one is the shopping cart.
Grown. Honda.
Honda.
I know. I heard y'all groan out there.
I don't want to do that. No, I'm not even touching that one.
What?
I can see some. I can see some answers on this. I'll read it.
no,
I'll
read
go for it
Just
anyway.
do it anyway.
Okay. What is a humanzee? I can see some answers here.
Delbug says, "Do it, do it, do it."
It's what is a humanzee? Yeah. What is a humanzee? I hope not.
Devil Dog says, "Human zombie."
No.
Draws.
No. It's gonna be a
You must see.
it's the answer is gonna I can only
Gary says, "Chimpanzee human cross."
yeah, a cross between a human and a chimpanzee.
Yep, Gary.
Can you use it in a sentence? Kathy Ireland is not a humanzee.
William Smith says, "Chimp or human."
Oh. Oh man.
Devil Dog says, "What?"
Of
I've never heard of that either.
course you did, Gary. It's the Google.
Don't you know? Says gross.
Yeah.
Devil Dog says, "Fraud equals Gary."
Cheater equals Gary. Sorry, I didn't mean to get it right. What do most people answer when asked what word they like best? And it's not Kathy Ireland.
Oh, well, I don't know. Some people may not. Gary says, "I am at work and not using a Google." William Smith says, "Bigfoot." Devil Dog food. Gary, I swear. Oh, he swears he's not using Google.
Yeah, the Google, because he's at work. No. So far, no right answer. And you're going to be surprised by the answer. You need to go like Gary does. Hey, Google. So the answer to that is your own name. Nope, not hello. I would have
That
thought
was
that
another
too.
groan.
Hey, I don't pick them. I just read them. In addition to fingerprints and teeth, what part of our body is so individually unique that impression of it can be used for identification, other than fingerprints and teeth?
Oh,
Eh,
I never heard of that.
I haven't heard of that either.
Crypt Keeper says, "I don't like my name."
Can imagine what his name is then.
Devil Dog DNA. Ears. Blood.
Nope, 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 nope. Nope.
Hair, feet.
That's not bad. We know plenty of Ryans.
No, that's not a bad name at all.
No. Yep. So the answer to this one will surprise you. The tongue. Didn't know they can
I don't know how to
identify.
figure that.
It's unique. Hey, PB on the go.
Hey,
That's all right. We went from card trivia to things they don't teach you in school trivia.
I guess if you're into forensic science or something, that tongue, you would know.
Yeah.
Gary says, by the way, Fred, I am at work, not at home, so I couldn't.
I know that, Gary.
But I wouldn't anyhow.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Devil Dog says, yes, you could on your
You're
phone.
Next question. His stage name is Bono in the pop group U2. What is his real name? Ugh.
Yeah, tongue rings. How would you know what tongue belongs to a person? I don't know.
I don't either.
Guess if it's still attached. I don't know. Maybe your dentist knows. William Smith says, when you have Kathy, who needs Google?
And Devil Dog says fibber equals
So what
Gary.
is the question?
His stage name is Bono. What is his real name? And it's not Kathy Ireland. Now, don't you know who's doing it?
U2 fans.
Music fans. All right, Gary and Eddie. Let's get back to the question.
Fibber McGee.
Oh my. So the answer to that one is Paul Hewson. Here's an interesting one.
Wait, what was the question,
we moved
Gary?
on, Gary.
You want to read it again?
The
so
question was the singer Bono, part of the U2 group. What was his name? His real name.
His real name.
Which was Paul Hewson.
Fred Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone. Nope.
Spaceman Dudley
Oh,
says,
cool.
the post office has some neat stamps now. Pony cars.
Probably $3 a stamp. That's okay, PB on the go. Next question. Is it possible to breathe if you're inside a cloud? Waiting for the funny answers on this one.
Bell Loop says, see, I told you there were pony cars, Fred.
Plumber 33, welcome.
Keeper says, yes. Don't you know? Yes. PB on the go, sure. The Plumber 33, yes. William Smith, sure, I breathe in fog. Gary says no.
So the answer was yes, you can breathe in the cloud. Just go on the Blue Ridge Parkway on a low cloudy day, step outside your vehicle and you'll be in the clouds. Or Clingman's Dome, which we were up
Hey,
at.
Plumber
recently.
33, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I mean, ask.
I'm not going to do that one.
Oh.
No way. How do they come up with these? Real person.
Spaceman Dudley, you know it's only about 12 weeks to Christmas.
Uh,
Oh, come on. No, you can't say that. Better get your Christmas shopping done.
did you get your Christmas shopping done already?
This is thunder woke me up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard to believe.
Let's see.
Man.
So how tall would Barbie be if she was a real person is the question. How tall? 60.
6'2".
6'2", 6.
Gary,
Man, tall
6
people.
foot. Thanks, Space. Devil Dog says 6'2". Plumber says 6 foot. William Smith 5'11".
I see.
TV on the go 5'7".
I see
Don't you know
3
5'7"?
answers that are close. So the answer and the 3 that are close are Don't You Know, PB on the Go, and William Smith. 8 foot. 5'9".
William says my wife's 5'11", and that's my answer.
Wants me to say 5'6". Two more questions, and then we are stopping for the night.
Like says whatever.
That's because it's Kathy Ireland. How many weddings are held in Las Vegas every day? Hey.
Gary says 5 more minutes.
Too many.
Crypt Keeper says 400. Gary says 50. Thousands. Plumber. William says 15. Don't you know 350?
Well, the answer they have here is over 300. So anybody that's at over 3 after the first night. Yeah, how many divorces would be a better question. I agree. They probably have more divorce. I would think 90% of those are probably divorced the next day.
How many were drunk while they got married?
Same ones. The citizens of what European country spend the most money on vacation? Belt Loopy 29.
Okay, we got Greece, Sweden, Ireland, Belgium, China.
China's not a European country.
UK, Germany.
I'm surprised nobody said this one yet.
Devil Dog says so. Ireland, Spain.
Yeah, you answered.
Haters gonna hate. Sad Devil Dog just said.
Russia. So the answer, and I'm surprised nobody said it yet.
Great Britain. Well, they're still coming
okay.
in.
Italia? There we go.
France is the answer. Oh, France.
Kathy Ireland is not the answer. All right. That's going to end it for tonight. We were just over an hour now, so next week we will not be going live doing our sorry, Bell Loop, not 6 more minutes. We're not doing our weekly live next Wednesday. If we do it another day, we'll have to see. But we've got stuff going on next Wednesday night, and so we can't do it next Wednesday.
Yeah, for real. I
For
know
real.
he said that last week that we weren't gonna do it this week, but
But
yeah, it was the dates were mixed up for what
yeah.
we were going to.
And I'm not going to be doing my pop-up live that I've been doing on Saturdays this Saturday as well, following week. So, yep, everyone have a good week. And just check out our videos. Make sure you hit the like on if you haven't already. Hey, Paul, didn't see you pop in. We're just wrapping up here.
Uh, have a good evening and
Check out, we have a, make sure you check that out. Will be, so you can see that as well. And I know.
are we on? No.
No, we're not. So, thank you for coming tonight. And we'll catch you on our next live.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.